Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Democrats stage an unprecedented sit-in in Capitol Hill overnight, pushing for a vote on gun control. But as Heather Sells reports, Republicans squashed the attempt and their plans to pass more legislation.
We will occupy this floor.
In the wake of the Orlando massacre, Democrats have renewed their efforts to pass gun control laws, and that led to a dramatic showdown on the House floor. On Wednesday leading into today, House Democrats staged a sit-in that lasted 16 hours. They called for measures to prevent suspected terrorists from buying firearms and expanded background checks for gun buyers.
All we're asking is two very minor things: no fly, no buy. Right. No fly, no buy, and the background checks loophole.
Civil rights icon John Lewis led the effort.
But the American people, they want us to act. They want us to do something.
As the night wore on, Republicans pushed back, turning off the C-SPAN cameras. Democrats then broke House rules and began using their phones to record the proceedings, chanting "No bill, no break." House Speaker Paul Ryan dismissed the sit-in, calling it a publicity stunt, and told CNN that the laws that are already in place must be applied.
Now let's focus on the issue at hand here, terrorism. And let's find out what we need to do to prevent future terrorist attacks. And if a person is on a terror watch list and they go try to buy a gun, we have procedures in place to deal with that.
Ryan ended the sit-in a little before 3 a.m., with Republicans voting to adjourn until after the 4th of July. Some gun measures have already failed in the Senate.
This 15-minute vote on ordering the previous question will be followed by a 5-minute vote on passing the joint resolution. The objectives of the...
We have other bridges to cross, and when we come back in July, we'll start all over again.
But Republicans, who control both the House and the Senate, say Democrats don't have the votes, and they can't expect any protests to change that. Heather Sells, CBN News.
British voters will decide today whether to leave the European Union. If Britain does leave, some fear it could put the future of the entire EU in jeopardy. Dale Hurd has the story now from London.
To leave or not to leave? That is the question before British voters Thursday. They'll vote on what's being called Brexit, Britain's exit from the European Union. After years of feeling like they were being yanked around by Brussels, the Brits now have a chance to yank the rug out from under the European Union.
The Eurozone is a catastrophe. The project doesn't work. I want us to get back our independence.
UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage, one of the leaders in the Leave camp, says the EU has made the British poor, even as the nation has given more authority and control of its borders to Brussels.
This should be a British passport. It says European Union on it, all right? I think, to make this country safer, we need to get back British passports so that we can check anybody else coming in to this country.
Under EU rules, Britain cannot limit migration from within Europe. And many Brits feel their tiny island has been overwhelmed by migrants. On the coast, longtime Dover business owner Brian Hall says the town is going down the drain.
You know, I've not had a problem with, we've had Poles here and hard working, but we've just got the percentage of them in the town is just becoming too much. You know, and it's dragged the town down.
We used to be Great Britain, now we're just Britain, so really we should get the great back and sort ourselves out, really, shouldn't we?
The Remain side warns that leaving the European Union will be an economic catastrophe for Britain.
I think the biggest risk we can take is to pull out of the EU, pull out of the single market, damage our businesses, damage jobs, and there'll be fewer opportunities for our children and grandchildren.
But the biggest damage from a Brexit could be to the European Union. This German economist called Brexit a nightmare scenario for the markets. He says the markets are afraid of Brexit because that will raise the question of whether the EU will break up.
And a happy Europe will be a democratic Europe of sovereign states who are good neighbours in the same street.
But a Brexit could cause a political and economic earthquake in the headquarters of the European Union, and a domino effect in which other nations leave, possibly triggering a collapse of the European Union. Dale Hurd, CBN News, London.
A U.S. military official says Boko Haram is divided due to ongoing internal conflicts. That's because some members of Boko Haram believe they should pledge more allegiance to ISIS. Reuters reports the Islamic State has urged the Nigerian terror group to stop using children as suicide bombers. It's a demand Boko Haram leaders refuse to obey. About half of Boko Haram broke off into a separate group, a group that pledges more loyalty to ISIS. Many are concerned Boko Haram may adopt the Islamic State's call for attacks on the West. A mob of angry Muslims brutally attacked Christians in an Egyptian village last week. 1,000 Muslims stormed Al-Baida, ransacked homes, and assaulted several people. Persecution.org reports the attack started when the mob went after a Coptic Christian man believed to be building a house church. The man says he was building a home and not a church, but the mob injured him and his brother and then destroyed his property as well as other homes in that area. Donald Trump is explaining what led him to fire Corey Lewandowski, his longtime campaign chief. The Republican presidential candidate says, quote, "It is time now for a different kind of campaign." Trump has been lagging in polls recently after several incidents of bad publicity. Jenna Browder has more.
Jenna Browder here in New York City. The big news, the Trump campaign parting ways with former campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Now, in recent weeks, Donald Trump has gotten in some trouble for some comments he's made about news events. So does this right the ship? Does this change the political landscape? We spoke with David Umberti with the Columbia Journalism Review.
I think his firing really signals that both the Trump campaign and also Republicans are in agreement that he has to at least modify his strategy, make it more establishment friendly in some way. So I think, it's obviously early to say, but this would be some sort of early signal that the Trump campaign would take a more establishment route going forward.
And Paul Manafort has been the one tasked with running the Republican convention for Trump, so nothing changes there. The convention is July 18th in Cleveland. In New York, I'm Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Kim Davis, the Kentucky clerk who spent 5 days in jail for refusing to issue gay marriage licenses, is asking a federal court to dismiss the lawsuit against her. She's making the request because of a new state law that takes effect next month. It removes the county clerk's names and authorizations from state marriage licenses. Davis says the law accommodates her religious beliefs and makes the lawsuit against her unnecessary. The seal of Los Angeles County will no longer feature an historic cross on the emblem. The LA County Board of Supervisors voted to accept a judge's ruling in favor of the American Civil Liberties Union, which fought to have the cross removed. The ACLU claims the cross violates separation of church and state. County supervisors had voted 2 years ago to put the very small cross on the seal because displaying the San Gabriel mission without the cross was historically inaccurate. And coming up, they're the most globally engaged generation ever. We'll show you how millennial couples are answering the call to missions around the world. Millennials are the largest generation in America right now. They're also the least church group in the country. But the negative statistics don't tell the entire story. As Caitlin Burke shows us, many millennials are traveling outside of the United States to spread the gospel around the world.
Each new generation gets measured against their parents and grandparents in a number of areas, including faith. The difference for millennials is that they're growing up in an age of nonstop news and social media.
If you are 30 or younger, chances are your belief in God may be on the decline.
Millennials gone godless. A new study shows that young people are abandoning the Bible.
According to research, this generation scores low on attending church, praying, and making religion a priority. But it's not all doom and gloom.
When it comes to millennials, millions remain deeply committed and active in their faith. It's just they're doing it their own way, and they're uniquely equipped to serve on the mission field.
This generation is the most globally engaged generation we've seen. They're the most cross-culturally prepared generation. Many would call them the first globals generation. 2 out of 3 of them have passports already by the time they're university students. They're so globally engaged already, I think they're ready to answer the call to missions and to go.
Every 3 years, the Urbana Conference brings together InterVarsity USA and Canada. Students meet and investigate God's call to world evangelization. Urbana 15 Director Tom Lynn sees a growing interest in justice and compassion-related missions.
Millennials care holistically about communities. And so not just bringing the message of the gospel or the message of Christ, but living it out. So it's both word and deed. And we're seeing millennials much more interested in committing to these types of holistic mission.
Terrible on camera. Like, can we make our video news?
In 2014, couples Katie and Jeremy Daggett and Jacqueline and Jake Blair followed their passion for missions to Peru. They fit right in the Christian Urban Development Association, or CUDA, one of the organization's goals being to overcome cycles of poverty.
Christian urban development, that Christian word on the front end is really important. We do all of it because we believe what Jesus did 2,000 years ago is what gives us motive and purpose and really hope in this context where we see wealthy and poor in the same city, where we see someone who's doing really, really well, is very established, and then someone who's on the edge of dire poverty. So that situation presents some unique opportunities, and we try to address those with CUDA.
Jacqueline, Katie, and Jake also put their medical backgrounds to work in a local hospital developing a diabetes program. Jeremy helps teachers improve their reading program success by starting libraries in local schools.
One of the things that looks like as the kingdom breaks in is that young kids read better and have better opportunities for the rest of their life. That's part of reconciliation for them, and that's part of mission work for us.
As all four use their skills to improve life for the Peruvian people, they individually focus on simply building relationships.
And when you look at Jesus' life and what he did and how he made disciples, he focused on a few guys and he poured a lot into them. And from there on, they changed the world, just a few guys. So when I think of my call to make disciples, I want to have a quality influence on a few people, and then those people can have a quality influence on a few more people, and then growth is then exponential.
Sometimes it means walking down the street, going to the market, running errands, going to the center of town and trying to meet people, sharing some of who I am, starting to learn who they are, and eventually moving that forward in terms of a sustaining and important relationship.
A commitment like this for a young adult brings a number of challenges, from starting over in unfamiliar surroundings to raising children away from family.
Being here, we've had to learn a new language and a new culture, and in reality, we feel very ill-equipped to serve the people here. And so really what happens is, through our weakness, God's strength is shown, and when things happen for His glory, we know that it's Him and not us.
I think one of the main ones is being away from family. Luckily, we have the technology to FaceTime or Skype with our family as much as we want and get to see them. Now that we have a child, and that is our parents' grandchild that we have here in Peru away from them, that does make it a little harder as well.
Despite the challenges, these couples remain passionate and hope to continue their call to missions.
I feel like God's call for us here could be the same call for any Christian in the world, and that is to be a part of God's mission of blessing people and bringing people to know Him better.
Our prayer is for the kingdom to come and for God's will to be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Now, we find ourselves in Arequipa, Peru, so our prayer specifically is for His kingdom to come and His will to be done here in Arequipa as it's being done in heaven.
Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Arequipa, Peru.
Up next, less is not always more. Meet the women who are trying to teach modesty to young girls. We've got the story when we come back. With bikini and summer season in full swing, modesty is always a topic, especially in Christian circles. But Pastor John Piper, author of Desiring God, offers a few tips for pastors who want to create a culture of modesty within the church. First, he says, work with your church leaders, then get parents on board to create consistent expectations for young people. Lastly, understand that modesty is beautiful. Renounce any mindset that modesty means frumping. You can hear more from John Piper by visiting CBNNews.com. Well, how much skin can a girl show before it's a sin? Modesty can be a sticky subject, even among Christians. But as Jennifer Wishon explains, being modest doesn't always mean a woman can't let her beauty shine.
If you look around, it's easy to think modesty is dead. Everywhere images tell us less is more. And the pressure for young girls to look sexy has never been more potent.
I think the media promotes sexiness.
They're wearing the 8-inch heels.
It's very hard as a parent to try to raise your child in this society that we have right now with some rules and with some structure.
I know that the reason why most girls dress like that is because they're trying to get attention for boys.
We met Stephanie at an event in Virginia designed to show young girls modesty is hot.
It all has to do with beauty, but beauty should really come from the inside out. And unfortunately, the generation that we're living in says the less you wear, the more hot and beautiful you are. But there's something really beautiful to mystery.
Jim Goshen is the creator of Modest is Hottest. She's a worship leader who never dreamed she'd be preaching demureness. But just look around, she says, even in the church, and you'll see it's needed.
I didn't come to know the Lord till I was much older. I was 21. I didn't grow up in youth groups or doing any of that. So when I became growing in Christ and knowing Jesus, I realized, wow, why are we dressing the same way I used to dress in the clubs?
Instead of kind of throwing the rule book at him, it's sort of a way of explaining like it's out of love. You know, you love the Lord, he loves you. And so this is kind of how you respond, is out of modesty.
What is modesty?
Modesty, that's an interesting topic. If you look at the scriptures, modesty is self-control in how you present yourself externally so that people can see your heart. The Bible teaches that our primary role, the reason we're on this planet, is to glorify God. Anytime we dress immodestly or we dress to show off our bodies, we're bringing glory to ourselves. That's the greatest, I think, sin of immodesty, is that we're saying, look at me, instead of saying, look at God.
Gresh is one of the experts. Her ministry, Secret Keeper Girl, travels the country teaching girls and their moms about modesty and why it's important. She's also written books about modesty and knows it can be controversial, even within the church.
And the tough thing is, there aren't any exact rules, right?
No. God didn't spell it out in black and white for us. Instead, he's asked us to search with our hearts.
The Secret Keeper Girl and Modest is Hottest programs offer girls fashion tips to help them be modest while still showcasing their personal style.
So we're reading our Bibles and then we're going out looking like a hoochie mama, right?
Research shows one of the top factors that puts a young person at risk for engaging in sex outside of marriage at a young age is appearing or dressing older, dressing immodestly. And it's increasingly easy to do. Companies now market adult products and garments to extremely young girls.
Some of the products in the last few years that have been sold to 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old girls have been push-up bras, thong underwear called eye candy, and eyeliner and mascara. In the last 3 years, eyeliner and mascara sales for 10-year-olds has doubled. Why is there anything to double?
So if you can reach girls between the ages of 8 and 12, 8 and 15, and teach them modesty, you really can change the trajectory of their lives.
That's the point. Doing it before the age of 12 is critical to putting her on a pathway to purity.
And what about boys and men? The Bible doesn't offer any modesty instructions for them. Gresh suggests it's because men are more vulnerable to the beauty of women than women are to the allure of men.
Do women have a responsibility to help protect the eyes of men who tend to be more visual?
The way that a man treats a woman is entirely his responsibility, period. However, a woman is called to exemplify the fruit of the Spirit. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. And I think we need to be able to exemplify that in the way that we dress and in the way that we present ourselves.
Do men have a responsibility to be modest?
Well, sure, men have a responsibility, and I wish we could get some dudes to start talking about that. Like, the Abercrombie guy is so naked. I think men have the same responsibility for us to be able to see their good works, for us to be able to see the inner qualities and strengths that God has put in them not their bodies.
Gresh says if we all wake up every day focused on honoring and glorifying God, then we'll all dress appropriately. And Jem Goshen says if you're not sure, just ask your parents.
It isn't in what the billboard says you need to look like. It isn't in being a size 2 or a size 10. It's in being who God made you to be. It's in accepting that you are fearfully and truly wonderfully made by Him, regardless of what society says.
Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.
Honor God in all things, and that includes your fashion choices. Stay with us. We're coming back with more. It is time now for your Thursday Thankful, and I'd like to offer this prayer of gratitude and certainly hope that you will join me in it. Father, thanks for loving me with an unfailing love, and thanks for not giving up on me, even in those moments when I feel I don't deserve it. You know, there is no greater love than the love that would lay down his life for a friend. And with that word, let us all work to make this a thankful Thursday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. We hope you'll take the time to tell us if you like the stories you've seen here today. You can do it on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter and Instagram. Join us right here tomorrow. Make this a great day. We'll see you then.